The next one, so that tells you once you have had that concept of Om as the abbreviation of Vedas, then this concept of why Om is called Beejakshara mantra then becomes very easy for us to understand. You would have said, they even have Akshamala beads, 51 beads. Akshamala classically has 51 beads, and if you want, you can roll over and do your Om meditation using them. Okay. Why is Om called Beejakshara? And we did very briefly last week. Bija is a seed. To know the tree, you need to know the seed. But at the same time, the seed is what becomes this big tree. Similarly, it is this Om abbreviation that eventually becomes the whole of the Vedas that we have just seen in the previous slide. And that is the reason why it is called as a Beejakshara mantra. Okay. Now, look at how many alphabets are there in Sanskrit. So this is classic Vedic Sanskrit. There are 51 alphabets. It starts with Akara and then you have Kshakara. Okay. Akara to Kshakara are the alphabets in Sanskrit. Okay. Now, what did Varuna say in first? He said, Om iti etad aksharam. So what does that aksharam has got? It's got Akara and Kshakara. So when Varuna said Aksharam, he said from Akara to Kshakara, all the Vedas are celebrating him, and this Vishnu is in all the Vedas. So that is one point there about the Bija. The other point is we all know Vedas are uncreated and it is eternal. And the Varanas, and we discussed this before, sounds have got two components. One is called Varanatmaka Shabda, and the other one is called Dvanyatmaka Shabda. So Varanas, that component of sound is all pervasive and eternal. Dvanyatmaka is what we do when we use our vocal cords and we make a sound. But before we make a sound, there is an unmanifested component of the sound that is all pervasive in the universe. That is called Varana. And that specific sequence of Varanas is what is Vedas all about. And that specific sequence is eternal and it is always in the mind of the Supreme that comes out in every creation. So again, that eternality is a Kshara. Kshara means that which gets destroyed. Akshara means that which is indestructible. What is indestructible? That thing between Akara and Kshakara is indestructible, which is the Vedas, which is the Rig, Yajus, and Sama, which is the only means in which we can know about the Supreme as per our capacity. So now I'm building in another layer of complexity with regards to Akshara as to why Varuna has defined this Brahman as Akshara. So we did this as in the modern day parlance. You could almost equate a Om to a USB stick, and you can store infinite amount of you can store as much files as you want based on what your gigabytes is. That is individual soul's capacity. You can store as much as you want. So again, Om iti etad aksharam gives a slightly different angle with regards to what Varuna is asking us to contemplate. HinduKnowledgeAcademy.com will celebrate Vedic culture and present its philosophies to the modern Hindu in an accessible format. Our ancient heritage is our greatest strength. Through preservation and dissemination, together let us spread positivity in the world. Thank you for listening and welcome to Hindu Knowledge Academy.